Good afternoon. I'm super excited to be back in San Francisco. It's nice in jeans for a change. Thank you for joining us today as we begin our celebration marking the 10th anniversary of ROG. At ASUS, we have always been passionate about technology, and we strive to push the boundaries of what's possible with every championship we pursue. And just like you, we live to win. Ten years ago, we decided that it was time to put our most passionate minds together and create a new generation of products that are designed to empower gamers from the ground up. ROG only exists for one reason, and that is to empower gamers with the most ferocious weapons that are designed to dominate the battlefields, designed for envy, designed to win. In the last decade, our dedication to superior design and engineering has been recognized and celebrated by the gaming community worldwide. Thank you for making ASUS the dominant #1 gaming brand in the world. Our passion for innovation is inspired by your passion for gaming. In the next decade and more to come, we will continue to push ROG forward and empower gamers with more epic innovation. Today, we have prepared an entire line of incredible innovations for you to choose for your next mission. I hope you will feel like James Bond in the gadget shop, and ASUS will be your forever cue. Without further delay, please join me to welcome our North American marketing head, Vivian, to present our latest skills.
Thank you, Johnny. Our success in multiple product segments can be attributed to many different factors. We believe the primary reason is our willingness to listen to our customers and invite them into the design process. ROG is all about pushing that performance envelope. Our gamers and enthusiasts tell us that they only want the best of the best. So we set out to look for features and technologies that are desired but yet available, and we make sure that we make those things happen for them. On average, an ROG product can take twice as long to develop compared to a mainstream product. Most of the time is spent in looking for ways to enhance that user experience or unleash the performance. A very true statement to our ROG spirit. Now, when we look at gaming and break it down into the gaming experience into its component parts, we realize that gaming is primarily visual. A couple years ago, we recognized there was an opportunity for us to step in and completely redefine what gaming monitors should be. But unfortunately, at the time, we were unable to find a gaming panel that truly meet the criteria. What we had wanted was a high-resolution monitor that was capable of high refresh rate as well. So we went out there, found our partners, and co-engineered to bring this product to market. On top of that, we were incredibly mindful of some of the features that our gamers wanted. For example, they wanted super thin bezel, so when they put the monitors next to each other, they look seamless. In addition, they wanted the integration of NVIDIA G-Sync technology. So the ROG Swift was born, and it completely changed the game for what a gaming monitor should do. But as with all first, and in true ASUS spirit, we didn't stop there. We continued to challenge ourselves and think, what more can we bring to the table? This time, with our latest generation of ROG monitors, we decided to give gamers a choice. Choice is a beautiful thing, right? And with that, I would like to introduce the brand new ASUS ROG PG279Q monitor. This is our first IPS monitor into the ROG family, something that the gamers have been asking for. And on top of that, we gave it a boost in performance, in this particular case, capable of delivering 165 Hertz of refresh rate. For those gamers that prefer high-resolution gaming, we're introducing the PG278Q, also based on the IPS panel technology, but in this case, delivering a 4K experience so that gamers can see every detail in their game. An emerging facet of gaming is virtual reality. We recently announced our partnership with Oculus. We're one of the first few partners to be selected into the Oculus Ready program. With our G20 and G11 desktop PCs, gamers in North America will soon be able to buy these desktop PCs off the shelf along with the Oculus Rift goggles and enjoy virtual reality gaming right out of the box. Now, with this availability of VR, high-resolution monitor, high refresh rate, it begs the question, what about your GPU? Do you have the graphics that's capable of driving it? Graphics is one area that ASUS ROG has been involved in deeply for a number of years. In fact, we've held many world record titles as well as innovation in the design and the engineering of the product. So, not to disappoint our fans, we're bringing out our latest ROG graphics card, the Matrix GTX 980 Ti. To fit the ROG name, we had to make sure that we use only the best of the best. So we set out to screen all the GPUs and take only the top 10% of the GPU that we get. Gave it a complete redesign in terms of the PCB. We carefully selected all the components on the board in order to unleash the performance of this graphics card. The end result is truly impressive. Compared to the reference design, we're able to deliver a double-digit advance in graphics performance while keeping it running cool and quiet. Under the new design and the patented fans, we're using a 14-phase power regulation in order to deliver a smooth experience. Aesthetics is a very important aspect to a gamer. So in this case, we added RGB LED lights that pulsates in different colors to indicate the GPU load level, and it becomes a very enjoyable visual experience. Now, these details are incredibly important to our gamers because they want a beautiful piece to go into their showcase PC. Even though gaming is visual, we think with the popularity of online gaming and online streaming, having a capable router is just as important. Oftentimes, people don't realize that could be your weakest link holding you back in your game. We've been in the networking space for a number of years, and one of the unique advantages that we have is we make both networking peripherals as well as network devices. So we take this advantage and make sure that when we go to market, all the products are tested, the new technologies are completely validated before we bring them out to the end users. We also see this category as otherwise very stagnant. So for the last couple of years, we invested a lot of resources to completely redo the user interface in our router. Today, we're one of the few that offers the most intuitive and the most complete user interface that allows gamers and users of all levels to tweak their router to suit their needs. And aesthetics is another thing that we spend a lot of time. How many times have you seen an ugly router that just sits in the closet? We don't think routers should be like that. We want them to be displayed just like anything else. And so we gave it a complete makeover as well. Now, in this true spirit of ASUS engineering, we continue to look for that next performance milestone and challenge ourselves. What more can we bring to the table? So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce our all-new RT-AC88U, the world's fastest dual-band router. This router, compared to the previous generation, is capable at delivering 25% more performance at the 5 gigahertz band and 60% more performance at the 2.4 gigahertz band. Now, this is not an incremental increase in performance. We think this is an incredible leap in performance when it comes to networking. So how do we do it? The challenge lies in the engineering that we apply both inside and outside. First, we look at the antenna design, and we make sure that we optimize the design so that both bandwidth and coverage are at what is physically possible. Then, we upgraded the CPU from 1 gigahertz to 1.4 gigahertz, added additional hardware accelerators and offload engines so that a lot of the computational needs can be offloaded from your system onto the router. Last but not least, we spend a lot of time looking for the right amplifiers so that you get the coverage and the consistent performance that you desire across all the bands. Now, having a great hardware is only part of the performance story. We think that software is just as important. So with the RT-AC88U, we have the built-in client as well as a subscription to the WT-Fast Gamer Private Network, or GPN. The GPN optimizes your gaming performance online by routing to different GPN servers and reducing your ping time as well as your packet loss. The net result is something like this. We're able to reduce ping time and packet loss by almost 90%. In addition, when it comes to software, we didn't just stop there. We added AI protection powered by Trend Micro. This unique addition protects users from malicious attacks from both the local network as well as the internet. Now, with this complete package, especially with the software integration, we feel that we're finally able to deliver a true gaming-grade router to our audience. So at the heart of every PC is a motherboard. 10 years ago, we had a vision to start a whole new category, and we started with a motherboard. Of course, over the years, we've expanded into a number of product categories, but motherboards is still very dear to our hearts. In the last decade, we've spent a considerable amount of resources to pioneer new features and to push that performance threshold. One of the areas that we devote a lot of our attention is in the design and the implementation of mini ITX motherboards. A mini ITX measures only 7-inch by 7-inch. As you can see on the screen, it's considerably smaller than the regular size ATX motherboard. But our engineering efforts want to make sure that just because it's small, it doesn't have to be compromised. So we wanted to make sure a mini ITX can offer the same level of features and performance as its larger counterparts. This upcoming motherboard has a very unique backstory. When we set out to design it, we set our goal to make the world's most advanced motherboard. And because of that, this particular motherboard took twice as long to make compared to other ROG motherboards. And it also required twice the component density compared to all the other boards that we put in because of the physical limitation. Now, since the launch of the Intel Skylake chipset, a lot of our enthusiasts have been waiting for this motherboard. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce our Maximus 8 Impact. Looking at this picture, I think you will agree. This is by far the most advanced board ever built. Because of the physical limitation on the PCB, we challenged our engineers to think outside the box. And they were able to come back with a number of solutions via add-on cards as well as the add-in modules. Since this is an ROG motherboard, features shouldn't be compromised. So we built in ATX-grade power. We gave users a built-in U.2 support so you can enjoy the fastest SSD performance. We also give you dedicated audio because a gaming experience really cannot be completed without great audio. And last but not least, for those online gamers, we built in the AO211 AC wireless with multi-user MIMO support. So you can get the best networking experience right out of the box. We think this is very impressive achievement from an engineering point of view, and I hope you all agree. So with our impressive array of products that I just introduced to you, ranging from the latest ROG monitors to the Oculus-ready desktop PCs, our graphics card, router, as well as the motherboard, our innovative journey has just begun. So with that, I would like to invite Johnny back on stage to continue to introduce our proudest innovation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back ASUS Chairman, Mr. Johnny Shi.
Having built these incredible components has enabled us to deliver the ultimate dream machine. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the ASUS G752. Thank you. Not only is it one of our proudest innovations, it is the preferred and only system that is used by Microsoft to develop its Windows 10 gaming features. We sincerely appreciate their support and partnership of nearly 3 decades. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Mr. Terry Mousen of Microsoft. Hi, Terry. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Johnny. We're so excited to be here today with ASUS to introduce these awesome gaming devices. Johnny mentioned a couple decades of collaboration between ASUS and Microsoft. Personally, I haven't been here for all of those, but certainly the last few years for the Windows 10 generation, we've been working super well together. It's just awesome. You know, I think my history with ASUS goes back to the very first PC I ever built was with a ASUS motherboard 15, 20 years ago. So it was, there's a raw, rich history here, and I think it's culminating today in some awesome devices. But before we talk about gaming, I thought I'd just sort of talk a little bit about Windows 10. Windows 10 really is off to the best start of any release of Windows we've ever had. We recently announced there's 110 million devices already running Windows 10. This is far ahead of any previous Windows release, and with the introduction of these awesome new devices, we're looking forward to many more. We designed Windows 10 to be familiar to all Windows 7, Windows 8 users, to be compatible and familiar to whatever phones people are using. We designed to be safer and more secure, built-in antivirus, continuously keeping it up to date as online threats change. All Windows 10 users can stay more secure, are confident their information is safe, their privacy is safe. We designed to be more personal and more productive, built in a personal assistant we call Cortana right into the software so that get to know you, have more fun using Windows 10. And of course, we wanted the experience to be more innovative. We wanted to have all kinds of new things and surprise you as you use Windows 10. And one of our big focuses there was gaming. It's been 10 weeks since we launched Windows 10. Mentioned 110 million devices. Over 1 billion visits to the store. The #1 thing being downloaded from the Windows Store are games. By far, it's just amazing how games dominate what especially Windows consumers are doing. We recently mentioned there was 8 million business PCs running Windows 10, but that means there's 102 million consumer PCs. And what are they doing? They primarily are gaming. We look at how much gaming is being played. There's been 143,000 years of gaming played on Windows 10 in just the last 10 weeks. I mean, that is a lot of gaming. If you look at the amount, how that compares to other gaming platforms, Windows is by far the largest gaming environment in the world. Steam, 95% of their users run Windows, and already 25% of them are running Windows 10. So we are like totally focused on making this gaming experience awesome. And let's look at a brief video of gaming on Windows 10. So people talk about Microsoft being a productivity company, but really, Microsoft is a productivity and gaming company. And what we've done with Windows 10 is we've taken the world of Xbox and the multiplayer, social net gaming, all those great studio titles, and we're making Windows 10 just the best place for gaming, especially for those Xbox users. We've brought features like Game DVR, so whatever game you may be playing, if you think, gosh, I just had that incredible moment, I want to share the last 10, 20 seconds with all my friends. Windows G, you can record this Game DVR, any of that activity, and then you can share it in the new Xbox app, where you have the entire Xbox Live social network there with all your friends. You can earn achievements, earn rewards, share them out, earn bragging rights. It's all there. And we want to make sure all the best games are available on these Windows 10 devices. Obviously, that means great PC games from Blizzard, great PC games from Steam, making sure there's great compatibility with all the great gaming accessories. But also means console games. That's where we've implemented this streaming. So your game console games, you can stream them directly from your Xbox One to your Windows 10 PC, including Xbox 360 games, which now play on Xbox One and can stream to these devices. In addition, the games we build at Microsoft, we are bringing them to the Windows 10 PC. Gears of War, Halo Wars 2, we're just going to see all this great Microsoft Studios game content showing up on these awesome Windows gaming devices. Now, these great gaming devices and these great Studios content, it's all made possible by this technology called DirectX 12. DirectX 12 is the latest generation of the DirectX technology, and ASUS has been right at the center of the design of DirectX 12. They were one of the first people to get early drops of the code, give us feedback, and iterate with us on DirectX 12 so it would light up this incredible set of devices they build for gamers. At the same time, you can see there's been incredible support from game engines, from studios like Electronic Arts, so the whole ecosystem can bring incredible content, incredible devices, and really make the magic happen. Now, to show you a demo of all this, I'd like to welcome up Kevin from our gaming team.
Thank you very much, Terry. Privileged to be here. I'm with the PC gaming team at Microsoft. I am a proud PC gamer, and I own a G20, which I fight frequently with my middle son over for time on. So it's a great personal honor and professional to be here. As Terry said, we built Windows 10 to be the best Windows ever for gaming. And we really thought about what does that mean to the PC gamer as we did that. So I'm going to walk you through just a couple of the ways that we've done that with Windows 10. First, you see, if we'll switch over here to the laptop, you see I've got Windows 10 running on my ROG here, and I've got the Xbox app. Terry talked about how we're bringing the world of Xbox into Windows. And on some levels, PC gamers look at us and go like, well, what does that mean? Is that a good thing? How do I want that? And what we've done with the Xbox app is we bring in the Xbox features, the network, the service, in ways that we believe matter to PC gamers and we're seeing people love. So when I launch the Xbox app, which is built into every copy of Windows, first thing I see is I've got my friends down here on the right-hand side. Now, these are friends that happen to be on Xbox One or Xbox 360. This could also be somebody who's just running Windows 10, has the Xbox app, creates a free account. You get messaging, you get voice chat, and we design those features like voice chat to work even when you're playing your PC games. So I could be playing League of Legends, start a voice chat with my buddy who's playing Halo 5 on the console. We designed it that way. We want to bridge those worlds and break down the walls where it makes sense. I can have this activity feed in the middle. You see my achievements, et cetera, all the things that are happening on the Xbox Live Network. Terry talked about game DVR. I could also, this is where I go see the games that I've recorded, my best wow moment, and I want to upload that. I can do that from here. The other thing we've done, though, we said, look, we've got this great Xbox Live Network. It's on the console. How do we bring this to the PC in a way that's meaningful? So we brought our multiplayer service. We brought it in a way that resonates with PC gamers, which means it's free and it works really well. And we've made that available to game developers. But again, back to this choice, we said, let's not just do it for PC games. Let's make sure that's great. But let's also connect the platforms. So new games like Fable Legends and Gigantic will let you play with your PC friends or across PC and console. And again, we put the choice in the developers and the gamers' hands. So Gigantic, for example, they had feedback. Their PC gamers and the console guys were like, hey, wait a minute, I'm not sure if I want the mouse and keyboard people playing against the console people. You as a developer, you as a gamer get the choice. So when you go to the server browser, you say, I only want to play with people on one or the other, or I just care about playing with the largest possible audience. So those are a couple ways. We also said, hey, we've invested in all this content. We've got these console exclusives, but there's also a ton of awesome PC exclusives that are already out there. How do we bridge that world? So, as Terry said, we invented something called game streaming from Xbox One. So in the Xbox app, I just click here on the streaming tab. It goes out, looks in my house. Anywhere in your home network, you've got an Xbox One. You can put it in front of your TV. You can put it in your closet. I happen to have one right here. And it shows me what's playing on my Xbox One. I've got an Xbox One controller actually connected to my ASUS PC. So I'm going to just click Stream. And if I was sitting in front of the Xbox One, this is what I would see. Now, I have the full Xbox One experience on my PC. I can navigate, I can go around, I can choose whatever games I want to run. In this case, I was playing Forza Motorsport, a special demo version that we've got available here just to show you the experience. And if I just click on with my controller, the game's paused, I can pick up where I left off, and I'm playing Forza Motorsport 6, brand new console exclusive, on my PC. Now, don't judge my driving. I'm not a great driver, but it's really just about the magic of the technology and making this available. So on the best hardware you've got for gaming in your house, now you can have all your PC exclusives and all your console exclusives and all your back compatibility. It's kind of funny. I was playing, again, there's a collection we have called Rare Replay, and I was playing RC Pro-Am. Anybody remember RC Pro-Am? It's like a 30-year-old Nintendo Entertainment System game. I'm playing RC Pro-Am on my Xbox One through my Windows PC. So like, we're living in the future, right? When you can connect that many console generations. The idea here, though, is no compromise gaming. That's really what we're after. Now, when we think about just PC gamers and things that, what does no compromise typically mean? With PC gaming, one of the best parts about the platform is if you want to play your games faster, better frame rates, right, better performance, you just upgrade your PC. You buy a new PC, and instantly all your stuff just gets better, it looks great. DirectX has been at the heart of that. DirectX 12 is the latest version. Terry talked about the industry support that we've seen from the game engine developers and the studios. One of those studios is Stardock, and they're making a great PC game called Ashes of the Singularity. It's a real-time strategy title. Now, DirectX 12 and DirectX typically associated with great graphics. And ASUS Singularity is going to have great graphics. It's going to be awesome. But they use a couple of other features of DirectX 12 that bring the full capability of the CPU and the GPU to light. And the first one of those is called asynchronous scheduling. And the idea here is there's no backlog waiting for you to send processing out to the GPU. And what ASUS does is, as an RTS, they've got up to 20,000 units on the single battlefield simultaneously. Now, part of that is they just look really cool, right? They're great. But they're not just individual, like, looking pretty objects. These are intelligent units with their own weaponry, their own AI. They can create this massive sense of scale because of DirectX 12. The other feature they have is object space rendering. Now, the idea here, simply put, is most PC games use between 4 different lighting sources in a PC game. Looks good. DirectX 12, they get thousands. So the idea here is, even in a genre like an RTS, you can move from something that's typically more animation style to more CG style. But enough of me talking about what this might look like. We've been very fortunate to get a preview trailer of the upcoming ASUS Singularity with brand new footage just for this event. So with that, I will say thank you, and we'll run the video.
I mean, when I see that complexity of that game and all that processing take place and think about playing that on one of these Republic of Gaming machines, I mean, it's just an awesome experience. And it's, to have ASUS as our partner focused on gamers, it really is just an incredible partnership. We talked about some Microsoft devices earlier this week, but the devices we're talking about here complement those devices in every possible way. We are so proud to have them in the device family of Windows. We have been invested in the success of these devices from the beginning. Frequent, regular interactions between our engineering teams to make sure the frame rate is right, to make sure the DX12 supports the drivers and all the awesome capabilities that ASUS had in mind from the beginning. And we're just very proud to be here today. So thank you, and keep going.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Marketing Director Derek Yu.
All right, hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Derek Yu. I'll be here to finish off the ROG laptop section for you. So, exciting stuff from Win 10, and besides collaborating with Microsoft on perfecting all these great Win 10 gaming features, ROG, of course, we have dedicated ourselves extensively into hardware design. And one of the key areas that we have devoted a lot of R&D resources into is the thermal design. And ROG, of course, has one of the best reps in the industry in terms of thermal performance. But with the G752, we wanted to take it up a notch by introducing something that we call the 3D vapor chamber system. Now, some of you might have heard of this thing called vapor chamber. It is typically being used in high-end graphics cards. Now, a vapor chamber has higher thermal conductivity and heat tolerance and heat capacity than even a solid block of copper. But for us, when we want to use it, it's more than just bring it in, slap it in, and call it a day. We make it thinner, we improve the performance, and actually, we designed multiple heat pipes directly into the vapor chamber. So right now, the water in the body of the chamber can move in and out around, and directly penetrates the heat pipes to ensure maximum performance. So to give you a quick idea of how well this works, say your typical well-designed heat pipe system inside a laptop will typically carries about 70 to 80 watts. The 3D vapor chamber system inside the G752 will be able to carry about 180 watts. And ROG has also implemented various designs to improve gaming experience in general. And for that, please help me to welcome world champion professional gamer Grubby up on the stage to share some thoughts with us. All right, Grubby.
Thanks, Derek, and hi, everyone. My name is Grubby, and I've been a professional gamer since 2003 until 2014. In that more of a decade of traveling the world and playing tournaments and winning more than 40 of them, I've realized that it's very important for me to have a good mobile workstation with me that allows me to get the best value and the most efficiency out of my life on the road, even if I'm in a hotel room or traveling. I could say that the G752 looks great aesthetically, which it does, but I don't care too much about that part. For me, I really only have 3 core demands: performance, stability, and durability. And I believe some finer gentlemen have already maybe convinced you of that. G752 excels in these areas. Now, if I'm playing competitions, I'm going to be hooking up that laptop with an external keyboard, monitor, mouse, and so on, just to get the closest possible to optimum playing conditions. But I may not always have the space. If I don't, I still want to be able to rely on a great keyboard on the laptop itself. And it actually feels really great. It has more of a traveling distance of the keys to the bottom. One of the great things also is it has the anti-ghosting 30 keys rollover, which means that all of the commands that you are putting into the keyboard will actually make it to the game, which is great. It won't be the reason that you lost. Recently, increasingly popular is the streaming platform Twitch, by which you can play games and broadcast that to the internet to share with all of your followers. And I've been doing that since the beginning of this year. And when you have that, you have even greater constraints on your hardware. You're not just playing a game at really high graphics, but you're also running a program that is capturing everything that you're doing and sending it out to the world for everyone to see. And the hardware must match that demand on performance. And luckily, G752 does do that. Now, there are a few extra cute functions that can help a lot to even bring your production value as a streamer and as a gamer to the next level. First of all, you've got this thing called ROG Game First. All of the G752s are outfitted with that straight out of the box. And basically what that allows you is to calibrate the bandwidth that is allowed and allocated to every program that you are running on your laptop. And so obviously, I'm going to prioritize the game and the streaming program. Secondly, there is something called Sonic Studio. This basically helps with everything audio related. For example, equalizing the microphone level in case you're getting very excited when you're playing and you don't want to wake everyone who's watching your stream. You don't want to wake their family up with your peaking voice. So you can equalize that. Also removes like some noise and microphone noise gate. So all in all, I feel like the G752 is the ideal traveling companion for on the road, to be able to play games at high level and also stream that to the world, and even sacrificing nothing when you're at home playing on it as well. I'm going to be playing some show matches later in StarCraft 2 and Heroes of the Storm. You may want to stick around for that if you have time, and I'll be taking out the G752 for another test drive. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention. That was it.
Hey. Thanks a lot, Grubby. All right, so G752, it comes with all the high-end and all the latest specs. It has the latest Intel Skylake CPU, DDR4 memory up to 64 gig nowadays. It has fast storage. It has Thunderbolt 3 with USB Type-C, and the whole 9 yards. But to be an ROG product is so much more than just the sum of the specs. It is the keyboard design, as Grubby was talking about. It was the thermal design that really sets itself apart from all the other guys that call themselves gaming laptops. All right, so coming up next, the product that you're all here for, the GX700. The GX700. So first of all, I want to start with the exterior design. So as you can see, the GX700 takes the same design cue as the G752. Over here, we're adopting the titanium silver as our major color scheme. And we wanted to use it to convey a strong armor, metal-like feel to it. But at the same time, we wanted to throw in a little copper accent, just enough to be mindful of the strong thermal performance and the strong thermal solution that lies underneath. Our designer really wanted to express that there's a certain special amount of energy that lies underneath that just can't wait to be unleashed. And ever since IFA, the question has been, why liquid cooling? Why liquid cooling? Well, because GX700 with liquid cooling, it can truly deliver the best of two worlds. So it is ultra powerful, and it's actually quite portable when you wanted to take it on the go. But when you're home, at your desk, you plug it in, it can scale up to be just as powerful as your gaming, as a desktop. Now, there are multiple approaches to enhance the graphics performance out of a laptop if you're in a scenario where you're stationary. Now, actually, ASUS is one of the very first companies to provide external graphics to the public. I think that was back in 2007 with our XG station. Some of you might have even covered it before. But over here, the approach is entirely different. And the concept is purely from a laptop's perspective. How do we harness the most performance out of a laptop? And that is the challenge. Now, by now, you should have known that the GX700 has the latest NVIDIA GTX 980 GPU inside. And let me share a little backstory with you on how this GPU comes about and where our water cooling concept came about. So the time was 2014, early 2014, so over a year ago. ASUS was approaching NVIDIA on bringing up a GPU that can have unprecedented overclocking capability. And the intention was to challenge the people on what they envision what a mobile GPU could be. With this new part, we'll be able to drive so much power in it and to be able to see frequencies and performance to a level unseen before. And for us, our idea was really, what if we can build a gaming laptop that can perform as well as a gaming desktop? At the time, that was a daunting task. NVIDIA was our partner at the time that has the GPU technology. And for us, we're like, you know what? We'll figure out how to recognize it, how to realize it. in a laptop form. So as you can see, because of this, the idea of having an innovative and advanced thermal technology is really part of the program right from the get-go. And it is no coincidence that the TDP designed for this water cooling system matches exactly that of the GTX 980 from right in the beginning. And just so you know, this is designed to carry over 200 watts. And so with this innovative approach, it not only allows us to get unprecedented results from the GPU, but because we're really working on the most fundamental performance barrier, which is thermal, that is why it also allows for great overclocking headrooms for CPUs as well as memories. The hydro overclocking system is a complete liquid cooling system with pumps, with reservoirs, fans, and radiators. And when connected, it will push the water into the laptop. It will interact with the existing thermal system with heat pipes within to achieve maximum results. And again, just to give you an idea on the thermal differences, once it's plugged in, the system will see anywhere from 12 to 18% in temperature decrease on major components. And over here, as mentioned before, the hybrid overclocking system not only allows you to do GPU overclocking, but it truly unleashes the potential and the true nature of the all-powerful Intel K-SKU CPU as well. So over here, you can see these are some of the early numbers from our lab. You can get over 40% increase for CPUs and GPUs, and over 30% on memory performances. And mind you, these are not even our maximum overclocking results. These are considered to be our conservative profile that can go through our rigorous stability testings. Now, 4K gaming has been the buzzword in the industry for quite some time, and ASUS has a lineup of products that offers 4K experiences to the users. But for ROG, 4K is a little more complicated because we're talking about 4K gaming. And we've been searching for solutions that can deliver smooth, legitimate 4K gaming experiences. And GX700 is the laptop that can actually provide smooth 4K gaming experiences at the average frame per second of over 40. Now, for those of you who has done testing some previous so-called gaming 4K models out there, you know that the other guys probably run about teens to the 20s. That's why we thought this is the real machine that can give you 4K gaming. And of course, if you run it with the SKU that we have with Full HD 1080p, then the frames per second will go up from 90 to over 120 frames per second. So the GX700 is the complete package. The innovative hydro overclocking system truly unleashes the true potential and the power of the Intel K-SKU CPU, as well as the GTX 980 GPU. And of course, all the exciting Win 10 gaming features going to run flawlessly on GX700 as well. And with all of these, this is definitely going to become the ultimate gaming gear for all the gamers out there. All right? So thank you. This is all me. This is all my time. Let me welcome back my boss, Johnny, up onto the stage. Johnny?
Thank you, Derek. Both you and Vivian have done an amazing job showcasing our complete lineup of innovations designed to empower gamers. We are also very fortunate to have a longtime partner who shares the same passion for innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Mr. Kirk Skaugen of Intel.
Well, thank you, and thanks for inviting us here today. I'm super proud. You know, I've been at Intel for 23 years, but Intel's been a partner innovating with ASUS for now 30 years, and I couldn't be more excited about gaming. I think for about 10 years I was running the server business at Intel. This is a heck of a lot more exciting, let me tell you. At the developer forum we had here in San Francisco, I actually presented a custom keynote on gaming because it's incredibly important to Intel and our OEMs. So it's really natural for us to be here with ASUS talking about the work we're doing to elevate the gaming movement. And we're incredibly excited that all these are based on the new Intel 6th generation core that I launched at IFA in Berlin just a few weeks ago. So let me just start by sharing some of the reasons why we at Intel are so excited about the gaming market. So there are 1.8 billion gamers in the world. If you can go back a slide, please. 1.8 billion gamers in the world. 1.2 billion of those consider themselves PC gamers. And amongst that 1.2 billion, 711 million people in the world are active PC gamers. That means they buy something for a PC game every month, which is amazing. That's 1 in 10 people on the planet. There's about $92 billion in revenue from everything gaming, from handsets to watches to PCs. 34 billion of that is from PC games. And in 2012, PC games crossed console games for the first time, and it's never gone back in terms of software revenue. It's also becoming an e-sport. I mean, we've got celebrities here that, with millions of dollars of prize money. In fact, for esports, there was 205 million people last year that watched gaming online. Intel sponsors something called Extreme Masters. It's the largest, longest-running pro gaming tournament in the world. We've been doing it for about 10 years. In 2014, we had 850,000 people show up live to Intel events. In Poland, we put 40,000 people into a stadium for the championships of Extreme Masters. We had 65 million people streaming and watching Extreme Masters live. And that's just one tournament event. You talked about Twitch earlier, 100 million Twitch subscribers. They're watching an average of 106 minutes per day of gaming on Twitch, with 1.5 million people now broadcasting live on Twitch. So this is incredibly exciting for us. You're going to see a continued huge focus for Intel on this. And it's good for our business as well. These PC gamers are refreshing their hardware on average every 2 to 3 years versus the average desktop, which is now about 6 years between a refresh. So it's good for business and it's good for innovation. Now, everything today we've talked about is generating off of Intel 6th generation core. And it's an incredibly unique time where Terry and I are here together. This happens like once a decade, where Intel and Microsoft and some amazing innovation from ASUS comes to bear. So think about it. Now there's more than 1 billion PCs in the world over 3 years old. 500 million PCs 4 to 5 years old. And this technology, now with Windows 10 and Intel 6th generation core, this only happens like once a decade. We're not talking about 10 or 20% better performance. We're talking about 150% better performance than 500 million PCs that are out there. So the time we think is there to refresh. 30% graphics, even on integrated graphics, driving this more into the mainstream, let alone the great performance we're getting from discrete. And now with 10 hours of battery life, so you can play that game all the way to Europe and not have to worry about running out of steam. No pun intended. So within the first 8 hours of launching 6th generation core, we had set 7 world records. And I'm confident that the GX700 and G752 are going to set world records immediately. And what you saw now is we are innovating. This is the first time ever you can overclock an Intel CPU in a notebook. And so these K-SKUs for mobile are out there, and you saw probably one of the best implementations there with the liquid cooling technology. So we're more committed than ever for gaming. We've had a 30-year partnership with Johnny and ASUS, and we're incredibly excited. It's good for business, and it's a once-in-a-decade opportunity between all of our companies. So Johnny, thank you for the partnership, and please come back up and join me.
Thank you, Kurt. It's always a pleasure. I would like to invite also Terry on stage for a picture.
Let's welcome back Microsoft Executive Vice President Terry Myerson.
Thank you for spending your precious time with us today. I hope you are as excited as we are about these new gears. The demo zones are officially open. Thank you, and see you later.